The dream of obtaining a U.S. green card is a goal for many, but this aspiration may soon become unattainable for citizens of 7 Asian countries. This article will outline these 7 nations that could lose U.S. green card access by 2025 and explain the various reasons behind these potential changes. Number 7. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka could face the suspension of green card access in 2025 due to its deepening economic crisis. Since 2022, the country has grappled with severe inflation, fuel shortages, and significant political instability. These challenges have compelled many Sri Lankan citizens to seek a better life abroad, particularly in the United States. However, this desperation has unfortunately led to a surge in immigration fraud. U.S. immigration officials have noted a rising number of applications from Sri Lanka containing forged documents, fabricated job offers, and false family connections. With embassies overwhelmed and document verification becoming increasingly difficult, these fraudulent attempts are raising significant red flags in Washington. Furthermore, Sri Lanka's passport ranking has declined due to its political unrest, subjecting its applicants to heightened scrutiny. The U.S. may conclude that the risk of fraudulent applications from Sri Lanka outweighs the benefits of maintaining open green card access. In 2025, the U.S. is considering placing Sri Lanka on a restricted list, especially under policies prioritizing national security and stricter immigration controls. Such a move could severely limit or even suspend the issuance of green cards. For Sri Lankans planning to migrate, time may be running out. Number 6. Syria. Syria's potential inclusion on the U.S. green card blacklist by 2025 is largely attributable to ongoing war and instability. Since 2011, Syria has been embroiled in a devastating civil war that has crippled its government institutions, destroyed public records, and displaced millions. Consequently, many Syrians applying for green cards are unable to provide complete identity documents, school records, or proof of employment. From the perspective of U.S. immigration, this poses a significant problem. The vetting process relies on reliable background checks, which are nearly impossible to conduct when a country lacks a functioning central database. To compound matters, U.S. embassies in or near Syria operate with limited capacity or are entirely closed, making document verification even more challenging. Without secure channels to confirm an individual's identity, U.S. officials are becoming increasingly cautious. As of 2025, several American lawmakers are advocating for a halt to immigration from countries unable to provide document transparency, and Syria tops this list. While humanitarian pathways may remain open for refugees, regular green card access is under severe threat. Although this situation may seem unfair, when national security is prioritized, even genuine Syrian applicants may find the door to America slowly closing. Number 5. Iran. Iran has a history of tense relations with the United States, and in 2025, these tensions may culminate in the suspension of green card access. The primary reason for this potential change is national security. In recent years, the U.S. government has grown increasingly concerned about potential threats originating from Iranian nationals, particularly amid renewed nuclear negotiations and intelligence concerns. While the majority of Iranian immigrants are professionals or students seeking a better life, a few isolated incidents involving visa fraud and political asylum abuse have cast a shadow over the rest. Another significant issue is Iran's limited diplomatic ties with the U.S. There is no American embassy in Tehran, necessitating that all green card applications be processed through third-party countries like Turkey or the UAE. This additional step creates delays, inconsistencies, and verification gaps, problems that U.S. immigration officials are less willing to tolerate in 2025. Furthermore, Iran's government tightly controls internet access and restricts communication, hindering U.S. agencies' ability to conduct reliable background checks. If there is no way to verify an individual's history, education, or even identity, the risk becomes too high. This year, under increasing political pressure, the U.S. is reviewing high-risk countries, and Iran is once again in the spotlight. Should this trend continue, a complete pause on family reunification visas, green cards, and student-to-residency pathways could follow. For thousands of educated, peace-seeking Iranians hoping for a future in America, such a move would be heartbreaking. Number 4. Pakistan. Pakistan's relationship with the U.S. has always been complex, characterized by periods of cooperation and caution. In 2025, Pakistan risks being removed from the U.S. green card eligibility list due to several escalating concerns, primarily security risks and visa overstays. Reports indicate a growing number of green card applicants from Pakistan have overstayed temporary U.S. visas or violated immigration terms. While this does not reflect the actions of all Pakistanis, U.S. immigration authorities are becoming increasingly uneasy. In an era of stricter border controls, even a small increase in violations can trigger large-scale policy shifts. A second concern is background verification. U.S. officials have encountered difficulties in confirming applicant histories due to inconsistent documentation in rural areas of Pakistan. This issue affects visa processing speeds and raises red flags for national security, especially when applicants originate from conflict-prone regions or lack digital records. In 2025, political instability and economic struggles within Pakistan have also prompted more citizens to seek permanent residency abroad, including through family sponsorships or employment-based green cards. However, this sudden surge is straining the U.S. immigration system. In response, lawmakers are pushing for tighter scrutiny or even a temporary freeze on green card issuances to certain countries. Pakistanis are already expressing concern, fearing separation from loved ones and delays in legal pathways. If this policy is implemented, thousands of families could be affected. Number 3. Nepal. Nepal, a peaceful and resilient Himalayan country, may not seem like a high-risk nation, but in 2025, it could face restrictions on U.S. green card eligibility due to immigration fraud, visa overstays, and weak passport tracking systems. Over the past few years, there has been a noticeable increase in cases where Nepali nationals have entered the U.S. on tourist or student visas only to overstay and work illegally. Many of these individuals were coached by unauthorized consultants promising shortcuts to U.S. permanent residency. As a result, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is now monitoring Nepal as a high-watch nation for document fraud and overstays. Another growing concern is human trafficking. Nepal's poverty and political instability have made its citizens vulnerable to fake job offers abroad. In some instances, traffickers exploit the U.S. green card lottery system to smuggle individuals under false identities or through arranged marriages, seriously undermining the integrity of legal immigration. Adding to the problem is Nepal's lack of reliable digital infrastructure. U.S. authorities face significant hurdles when attempting to verify an applicant's background, making it easier for illicit actors to manipulate the system. In 2025, the U.S. is considering suspending or limiting green card allocations to Nepal unless the government improves passport verification systems and actively suppresses illegal migration networks. While most Nepalis are hardworking and honest, the actions of a few are jeopardizing the American dream for thousands. Number 2. South Korea. South Korea, renowned for its booming economy, K-pop exports, and advanced technology, is facing a significant diplomatic challenge in 2025 that could cost thousands of its citizens access to the U.S. green card. The core issue lies with overstaying and the misuse of visa programs, particularly among students and workers. In recent years, there has been a sharp increase in young South Koreans entering the U.S. on student, tourist, or work visas and failing to depart as required. Many are covertly taking jobs in cities like New York, California, or Texas, often in Korean-owned businesses operating under the radar. Others switch from one visa to another, staying indefinitely without going through proper legal channels. While not everyone engages in these practices, the surge in violations has captured the attention of U.S. immigration authorities. Another concern is the abuse of the green card system through fake or contract marriages, a problem that has been quietly growing. These arrangements, frequently set up through online forums or immigration brokers, are now being flagged in U.S. immigration databases. As a U.S. ally, South Korea is under pressure to address these issues or face consequences. What makes the situation more urgent is that the U.S. is tightening immigration across the board in 2025, with growing political pressure to reduce fraud and clear backlogs. Even countries with traditionally high approval rates, like South Korea, are under review. If patterns of visa abuse persist, green card quotas could be reduced or suspended. To prevent this, South Korea will need to enhance enforcement, educate its citizens about immigration laws, and collaborate closely with U.S. agencies to track violations. However, time is running out. If no changes are implemented, thousands of South Koreans dreaming of a life in the U.S., whether for education, career, or family, could find the green card door suddenly close. Number 1. United Arab Emirates. It may be unexpected, but the United Arab Emirates, home to some of the world's most luxurious cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, could lose green card access for its citizens in 2025. This potential change stems from security concerns, inconsistent visa compliance, and a rising number of overstays and asylum claims in the U.S. from UAE nationals. While the UAE is a wealthy nation, it has observed an increasing number of its citizens, particularly younger adults, using U.S. tourist or student visas and then overstaying, often without proper authorization to work or remain. Some are exploiting the system to gain long-term entry into the U.S. through loopholes, filing asylum claims, or seeking work despite restrictions. These violations are becoming more frequent, and the U.S. government is taking notice. Complicating matters further are the geopolitical tensions in the region. Although the UAE is considered an American ally, it is also fostering stronger relationships with China and Russia, countries currently under stricter U.S. scrutiny. The concern is that the UAE could become a gateway for foreign influence or espionage, especially through its dual citizenship laws and lenient residency rules for wealthy foreigners. Additionally, U.S. immigration officials have reported issues with verification and background checks for certain applicants from the Gulf region, including concerns over transparency in documentation and identity verification. In 2025, as the U.S. intensifies its national security focus, even close allies like the UAE are not immune to stricter screening or reduced immigration privileges. If current trends persist, particularly those involving fraudulent asylum applications, visa overstays, and a lack of cooperation in deportation processes, the U.S. may decide to cap or temporarily suspend green card access for UAE citizens. For thousands of Emiratis hoping to study, invest, or migrate to the U.S., this would be a devastating blow, potentially affecting students, business owners, and even family reunification. The message from the U.S. is clear. Even the wealthiest nations must adhere to the rules or face serious immigration consequences. What country do you believe should not be on this list? Share your thoughts in the comments below.